Welcome back to Free Spirit Tarot. I am Poetry. We are here for our September reading for the zodiac sign of Aries. I am using astrology cards to help me with this reading, but this is not a natal chart reading. This is not a horoscope. We're just using these tools to help me see what possibly could be affecting you or something that you may be going through for the month of September. These stones here have nothing to do with nothing. They're just pretty decoration on the counter. Um, I know that because of my ring light, I'm going to get some type of glare on the cards. So I apologize for that in advance. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Please like the video. Let me know that you are here. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is not a pick a card reading either. These groups represent different parts of the astrological, thingamajigamy. So we got the planets here, the houses here, the aspects, the nodes, and the asteroids here. I haven't really broke down what those were since probably the first video, but it's like, yeah. So again, for Aries, I use the old system, so I go off of the old astrological dates. Aries is from March 21st through April 19th. Aries is seen as the radical. They are love to compete against people as well, but they are pretty out of the box, loud, sometimes impulsive, a bit assertive. They like to be very active. They are pretty much a self-starting individual, which means that they know they get going on their own. They don't have to be told. They don't really need instruction on in the workplace. They can come in and just do what they is expected of them. Sometimes even more. They're very dominant. They can be quick-tempered, impatient, argumentative, even great debaters. Okay, so what I'm doing here is trying to get a good little mix on these planets here, and we're going to see what the Aries is going to be working with as far as planets are concerned. And we have the sun. And with the sun card, we're always looking at our own self-identity, our own egos. We want to look at how we are perceived by people on the outside, what we present, our representative that we send out into the world. Sometimes we could be a little bit childish, have a little bit of ego, as we talked about it before with the Aries, be assertive and dominant. And a lot of that goes back to the ego that you want people to see you as. You want people to see you as being strong and as somebody that's easily broken. You express yourself fully. Yeah, and you have kind of like a fiery way about your side as well. Aries are known to be great fathers for the most part. I'm gonna say that, and this is bringing in personal experience. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be looking at is our house. So we're going to try to see how the sun in Aries, where that is going to play a factor in our natal chart. Trying to give it a good little mix because I somehow keep drawing almost the same cards for everyone. The seventh house in partnerships. So this is how you're going to show up in your partnerships, whether it's marriage, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your business relationships, partnerships, agreements that you have made with someone else, commitments that you have made to another person, when you're actually negotiating, how you show up and come across. And like I said, you could be very domineering at times. So we know that when we're thinking of an Aries person, they do show up as if they are the boss or the leader of things, and they could be kind of off-putting because of that in some cases. So our next thing is going to be our aspects. Our aspects, we show when we have multiple planets, usually two, working together, and the result could be something positive or negative. Um, so we have like 6 little aspects, and the aspects of what basically influence your personality, influence what challenges that you may have, or what potential that you may have as well. So we're looking at, for you, we're looking at the semi-sextile, which is allowing, what we allow towards others. So again, we're looking at our own personal being, how we show up in the partnerships. It allows this semi-sextile is basically how what we decide to give to other people. Um, because of the type of person that you are, you're not really a private person, but you're not really somebody that likes to hide anything about yourself either. You're not, let's say, you're not very vulnerable. Let me put it that way. You haven't been very vulnerable. You only give people what you want them to know about you. Okay, so the semi-sextile, we work with the planet that is 60 degrees to the right of it, and we use that planet to help build new talents that we may have. It's an opportunity for our energy to seek out new things that we could do, to be cooperative with other people and provide some type of support as well. So when we're looking at 60 degrees, we're looking at what, I said 60, 30 degrees for a semi-sextile, I'm sorry. Um, and for the semi-sextile, 'cause I don't know why I was looking at sextile, I'm sorry. So for the semi-sextile, it's 30 degrees, and that is um, an uncommon point of view that we'll have with the sun card. And so we use our other planet to compensate what we're lacking in here. So I'm going to use what is uh, 30 degrees away from the sun, which is Mercury. Mercury is our thoughts, our intellect, the way we communicate, um, our mentality, how we process information, how we perceive information, transportations, things like that. That's some of the things that Mercury represents. Geminis, Virgos, so we're going to be pulling in on this Mercury energy along with the sun's energy to see what one is lacking in the other. Okay, so let's see. Communication. Communication could be nurtured a little bit more. So the sun, because we are our own being, we see ourselves, we kind of egotistical in the matter. We don't communicate well because we kind of, I don't want to keep using the word bossy, but we don't communicate well because we think we're right. Put it that way. So we need to work on our communication with other people so that way it could foster better partnerships here. We feel like we may use the term, we're not in competition with anybody but ourselves, but you are definitely in competition. You're secretly in competition with even people that are your partners, even people in a relationship with you. You seem to be competing with them, competing for other people's attention, love. You want to be the friend. You want to be the one in the relationship that everybody likes more than anybody else. The life of the party, that type of situation. So we would need to really work on our communication, something that we lack when we deal with the sun, because it's more about self and selfishness, more about our self awareness. Um, I'm also seeing that as Aries, like I said, we can be very rebellious at times, and we need to better communicate. It's really just about communication. Is what I'm saying here, because your intellect, you're not dumb. You don't present yourself to be dumb. You're very smart, um, in a lot of things, in a lot of ways that you present yourself. You're very smart. There's a very distinct personality about you. Um, you bring on that male masculine role, the masculine energies. Um, so you need to be a little agile. Okay. Yeah, tone down the machoism just a little bit. Okay. These are notes here. It's basically just saying whether it's something that happened in the past or could be in the future. In this particular time, it's in our north node. This is what determines our fate. Our north node is going to represent for us the path in which we must grow, the destiny, our new experiences that we have as well. And we already know that we're working on our partnerships. We're not good at working with people. We're good at bossing people around, but we're not very good at working with people. And like I said, that's mainly what's jumping out at me is the way you communicate. Like I say, you could be in people's face. You could be aggressive. You could be considered loud. You may consider yourself to be daring and fierce, but um, recognizing that you need better communication skills. I think I've been trying to say that you need better communication skills. Okay, and that will help you get through some of the challenges that you may have come up in the future. Um, so for the month of September, work on your communication with people that you have partnered with, whether it be in your marriage, whether it be in your relationship, with your friendships. Like I say, if you're negotiating a contract or a deal, be able to better and fully, clearly communicate that without seeming like you're a know-it-all. Okay, and you may have to actually learn how to do that because you're so used to being that way. You're so used to not dealing with partnerships in a really effective way. And like you may even get into a partnership with somebody and be like, well, it was my idea. You see that? And that's what we want to try to step away from. Okay, so in here, dealing with our asteroids. Okay. And we have Juno, commitment. We just kind of talked about that, what we're going to commit. So something that you value very deeply is your commitments that you make. So commit yourself to building better partnerships by being more open and communicative. Like you've already presented yourself in a certain way. You show up and show out as the Aries. People who are really into astrology can be like, you're Aries, aren't you? And you have a proudness about that. Um, Humble yourself. Goodness gracious, that's the word I've been looking for. You need to humble yourself just a tad bit and change people's perception of you. Um, Not necessarily change who you are, but change their perception of you. Sometimes your cockiness, your arrogance, sometimes your assertiveness, your brashness, your fierceness can be mistaken as cockiness instead of confidence. I hope that makes sense, right? So we're going to be committed in September. We're going to be committed this month to try to change people's perception of us, the people that we are in partnerships with. That's what we're going to try to change to create a more better flow so that our destiny and our fate can be manifested and fulfilled to get us to the next level, whatever it is we we're trying to achieve. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is turn off my camera for a second, then I'll come back with our Kipper reading. That's what I'm about to give to you. All right. And I hope you don't feel slighted that it seems like I'm kind of moving through these pretty fast. But there's 12 zodiac signs, and I'm letting you know I am trying to get through them all. I was hoping to have them done before the September started, but you know, things don't always work out the way you planned. So I'm going to be using the German style of reading Kipper. Um, this was presented by someone that I had followed on YouTube before. So what it is they have master cards in the deck. There's 11 of master cards in this deck. And master cards are usually positive cards, okay? But what we do is look for a master card, and then we may pull a second card underneath it to kind of clarify it a little bit or help expand the story in which we're trying to uh, suss out. Is that the good word to say? Okay. Um, we keep doing that until we go through the deck. If we come into a coffin, that means that we stop pulling cards at that time. Usually pull in a number, the exact same number throughout the whole deck. I always use the number 3. And here we go. I'll let you know if the cards are masters or not. Courtship is a master. Courtship is basically a partnership that you have with someone that we already talking about in our 7th house. That is a master card. So we take out the next one. There's a journey that you're going to be taking on with your partnerships. We already said that that's what we need to do for this month of September, is to evaluate our partnerships and how we present ourselves to others, how others think about us, and how we think about ourselves as well in that situation. 1, 2, 3. Toilet labor. It's not. It's concern. It's not. Mature woman. Not. Pathway. Is not. Thoughts. Indeed is a master card. Again, we already had thoughts pop up in our semi-sextile. The thing that is going to deliberate an uncommon point of view. You know, we compensate. One sign is compensating for what the other lacks. So our sun sign is lacking communication skills that we need. And that's what we have here with the thoughts as well. The child is the next card underneath that. I mentioned before about being childlike and playful sometimes. Or did I mention that at all? I thought I did. I may not have. I spoke about innocence. Aries does have that feeling that sometimes you're a bit too childish. Yeah, so that's one of the things that you are concerned with. If you're able to tame that childishness to present yourself in a different fashion to your partner. I did bring that up, huh? Wealthy man is a no. Change is no. Thief is no. Imprisonment is no. Just realized I wasn't on camera. Poverty is not a master. Mature man, no. And family rooms, no. So we go back to it one more time. Same number of cards. Great fortune. And then that masculine energy. Gonna have a gift. Bad health is no. Message of concern, no. Despair, no. Marriage, also again, when we're dealing with our partnerships, marriage could be included, but it also is basically a partnership as well. This courtship could also be a meeting as well. Oh, sudden wealth is one. Pathway. We have journey and pathway. 1, 2, 3. House is another one. Which gives us the wealthy male underneath it. Let's see if I can bring these cards over. Give us a little bit more space. Expectations. Change. Occupation. High honor. It's a MasterCard. We're getting high honor for freaking everybody. Jeez Louise. Imprisonment. Official person. And coffin. Stop on the cards. Okay. These out the way. You got a lot. Got a lot on the table here. Try to pull some of them up out the way so I can get these all in view. You've been getting high honor a lot on all of these people. Okay, so like I said, the master cards are usually very positive cards. You have a lot of master cards going on here. Courtship, thoughts, great fortune, marriage, house, expectations, high honors, sudden wealth, main male. Those were all master cards. Okay, so you have a lot of positive energy flowing here. That means that, well, for me, what it shows is that you are going to be able to successfully um, foster great partnerships in the month of September. Whether you just begin to do it or you do it in completion. Partnerships, something that's not very common to you or something that you have not considered before, is something that you'll be able to, have breakthrough for you. I see you going on a whole another type of journey. If I go back into Juno, and this may be a long-term commitment that you have. Maybe you're starting a business with somebody that you probably would have never did before. You've been something you've been doing on your own, and now you have decided to take on partners, and you're committed to that. You're going to be great at negotiating. You have like several meetings, in several meetings happening that is going to help make you a wealthy person. Um, we're showing here the great fortune card is making it positive thoughts. The great fortune card is even making those childhood issues seem, um, make you seem more. What is the word I want to use? My goodness, taken more seriously. Okay, not being so childish, but being taken more seriously. Um, People will see you as a better person, even though the masculine energy that we show presented here is coming through strong. It's not going to be a hindrance to you. The partnership that you're going to have, the partnership you're going to grow, the change in person or change in perception is going to be a great gift to you. It's going to lead you down a new pathway. You're already bound to take a journey, okay? And it's going to lead you down to a pathway of transformation, okay? This is going to be a great soul union that I'm showing here. The expectations that you have for this endeavor will be high. No matter how big or small the endeavor may be. It may be just, getting a schedule together for your children. If you were in a relationship and that you separated and you kind of co-parent, it could be something as simple as that, something as simple as that. And the expectation is going to be high, but you're changing how you approach the situation. You're changing how you think about the situation, which is unlike who you naturally are. You're going to be you're going to be working on that. That's what you're going to be working on. And that change, um, is not going to feel like you're being imprisoned by the idea. That's what the high honor, because like I said, the high honor changes the way this feels. So it's not like you feel like you're going to be bound. You may have thought that. You may have expected that, but the high honor card is not making you feel like you're locked in something you don't want to be in. It's not going to, it's also taking away the idea that someone is trapping you. Okay. I do see that there's going to be a monetary change here with the great fortune being highlighted by the sudden wealth, and then the presentation of the wealthy man being there. But this again, as I told a previous group that got this card, time is going to be taken. This is not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. The change has to go through. The change has to manifest. You have to go on an actual journey with your partner. to get to these successes. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. We're working on ourselves to foster greater partnerships. And ultimately, that's going to bring us great financial success, gifts unlike we've never had. We're going to obtain new gifts that we've never had. Did I see that somewhere? I thought I did. There's the negotiation, the joint endeavors I'm showing here. The travel was the journey and the pathway and the change. There's travel happening there. That's where that communication, maybe a Gemini or a Virgo, is going to be part of your process, or it's going to happen in Gemini or Virgo season of the next year. The future, your soul purpose, your challenges, your life goals, your destinations. It's all in the future. Trust in yourself, trust in your partner. Trust in your partner. Lean into those relationships. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. This has been the September reading for the Aries zodiac sign, and hope great things come to you for this month. Thank you. See you in the next video. Peace.